So let's start the journey by talking a little bit about the importance of working with the voice. Why is it so important, and why can it be so powerful? Why can the voice have such incredibly powerful effects on everything, on our body, on our energy, on our personality, on the way we feel and the level of energy we have available? And it is, if you think about it, really the voice is the ultimate musical instrument. We haven't created it ourselves. We come with a sounding instrument in our bodies, organically part of our bodies. And you can really think of any other musical instrument as an imitation of the voice, except maybe for rhythmical instruments like percussions. So you can see percussion instrument as an imitation of the rhythms, both of the body, like the heartbeat and the respiration, and of nature in general. Nature, everything moves in cycles, and every cycle is basically a rhythm. Even the season, every season comes once a year, and it comes regularly, so it's a rhythm. It's a very large rhythm, but it is a rhythm. And of course, when we are born, before we're born, when we're still in the womb, we are exposed to a series of rhythmical sounds from the body of our mothers, the heartbeat of our mothers, the circulation, the respiration, the breathing rhythm. So everything we do in music with rhythm is really to imitate those natural organic rhythms. Any other instrument, any melodic instrument, is really an imitation of the voice, because we start singing and vocalizing before we do anything else. And really in nature, not even only us, we are exposed to bird songs and all sorts of other sounds from other animals. We have been exposed from the beginning of time. So because of that, the voice really creates a direct connection to our most intimate essence. The voice is a direct expression of our deep essence, of who we are really. And it creates this direct connection between the physical expression of ourselves in our bodies, in our personalities, in the way we act in life, and that's something that's more fine, less tangible, which we can call it the soul or whatever other name works for you. The bridge between these two aspects of your being is really the sound of your voice. And then, of course, there is the aspect of the mythology of sound, and how so many different cultures around the world, in the ancient traditions, in their myths of creation, they refer to sound as the creative energy of the universe. So when they when they tell their stories about how the universe was created, they very often include some kind of sound as the igniting element of the creation of the universe. And this has been expressed in many different ways in different cultures. So from the Om sound of the Vedic culture in India, which is the one that we are probably more familiar with in the West, to many other sounds, like the sound of a drum, or the singing, a god singing the universe into existence, or a god shouting, or a thunder. Those are all many different ways to refer as a huge sound that somehow is responsible for the creation of the physicality, of the physical reality of the universe. So if you think about this incredibly strong power of creation that they all refer to, we have that within us, we have that within our bodies. Built in our bodies is this musical instrument that somehow is a microcosmic version of the sound of the universe. So we have creative energy in ourselves that can be expressed through the sound of our voice. So you can think something and it's going to be in your mind the moment you say that thought is going to land in the physical world, so it can be communicated to others, or it can be it acquires a charge of energy that helps bringing it forward into manifestation. You just have to think about incantations or magical formulas. They always rely on something being said and spoken or chanted. There seems to be something in the sound of the voice that is really like a bridge between more spiritual dimensions and more physical dimensions. And then the voice is a direct expression of how we feel often. One of the first things that changes when our state changes is the sound of our voice. It can change in very, very subtle ways, or it can change very clearly and evidently. Like if we're sick, our voice becomes more feeble, or if we're feeling down, the voice becomes a bit more dull and monotonic. And if we're feeling excited, our voice has more what it's called prosody, so it changes in intonation. It goes up and down, and it's very alive and lively. So it is a direct expression of how we feel, who we are, and because of that, it can influence. So the channel works both ways, as in many aspects of our beings, like the psychosomatic link. It does not work only from the mind to the body. It works also the other way, from the body to the mind. So a psychological issue will manifest in the body as a sickness, or even just a small issue in the body. So obviously changing that psychological issue will have an effect on the body. But it can work the other way around. If you work on the body, you will be able to also influence the psychological issue at the root of the problem in the body. So it is really a two-way channel. And that goes for the voice as well. So if your voice changes according to how you're feeling and how you are in general, working with your voice can influence how you're feeling, can influence your state of energy, can influence your psychological states and your moods and the level of energy. So that's really the powerful gift that the voice has for us, if we take the time to explore it, if we honor this sacred space that we can create by working intentionally with our own voices. I always say to my students, spending intimate time with your own voice is a way of welcoming more of your soul into your body.